Hi, my name is Justin Hurst, and in case you didn't know, I play many video games. And yeah, I think the video game collection can speak for itself, they know who they are. If there isn't a newly released video game I want to check out, I'll mostly spend my casual time hooking up and reliving through my childhood console, the PlayStation 2. It's what I grew up with after all, and I've had a lot of fun memories with the system itself. So now it's time to wind the clock down and share with you some of my most cherished and beloved PlayStation 2 classics. In other words, here are my top 5 best PlayStation 2 video games, and yes, we're making a top 5 list because why the hell not? Now this list will be extremely subjective if it wasn't the case already, as I am sharing my favourite PlayStation 2 games I've spent for hours upon hours. So if your specific game didn't make the cut, then comment down below and share your personal favourite PlayStation 2 video game. So with that said, let's begin with number 5, SmackDown vs Raw 2007. Yep, I'm starting off with a wrestling game because this to me is the best wrestling game out there, and surprisingly, it still holds up well. It has everything you want out of a wrestling game. Would you like some great gameplay that blends some arcade and simulation style pretty well? Check. Would you like season mode that features some memorable storylines and rewards the player for partaking in those events? Check. Would you like to be the general manager in GM mode where they've taken the same style as SVR06 and improved on that to make it fresher and so goddamn addicting simultaneously? Check, check, and double check. Me and my brother played a ton of this game for hours whenever we was facing each other in a one-on-one match for the WWE Championship, or even as little as customizing your locker room. SmackDown vs Raw 2007 brings back a lot of good memories, and at the end of the day, that's all you really need out of a good video game. Number 4, Tekken V. I got into fighting games when I was introduced to Mortal Kombat 4 when I was 5 years old. Don't even start on how I was allowed to play that bloody game at such a young age. The point is, that game got me to realize there are a lot more different genres to try out, and when I played Tekken 5, I was hooked immediately. I really enjoyed playing through the story battles with each character, as they present some storytelling within those characters. I also enjoyed the number of different game modes, from arcade, team battle, time trial, and you can even partake in Devil Within, where you play as Jin Kazama and go through stages of enemies. The music sounds great, the arenas you fight in are memorable, and I love the ability to customize each fighter with their attire. This game introduced me to the Tekken series, and I'm pretty glad it was Tekken 5 that could do so, and since then, I've never looked back. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. There's nothing more satisfying than going back to a video game you grew up with for a long period of time and seeing the intro to the game itself. That right there brings absolute joy to our nostalgia roots. When I played this game as a kid, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Still, after receiving some pointers from my old friends, I got the hang of it, and little did I know at the time what I was playing was probably one of the most ambitious Grand Theft Auto games in the series. The story and characters you'll go on to witness are so goddamn amazing, there are lots of fun missions to try out, and plenty of side content to go for. Not to mention the RPG elements with how you change CJ with different clothes, what he looks like, hairstyles, body weight, and of course, the cheat codes. I must have spent a lot of my time putting in every cheat code in the game and just creating chaos for whoever stood in my way. It's a cult classic with many re-releases for modern consoles, and there's even a remake version under the definitive trilogy. The less said about that, the better. Number 2, Ratchet Clank 2. You could select any Ratchet & Clank game from the trilogy and place it here, but the second installment has always earned a special place in my heart. And I always replay this game at least once a year. This is probably one of the best sequels to a video game ever, and it could be up for debate, but really, Locked and Loaded / Going Commando achieves everything you could possibly ask for out of a sequel. It retains that same gameplay style from the first installment, and all they did was some fine tuning. Having the ability to strafe really takes that fast-paced third-person shooting to a different level. There are many more details within each planet you visit, more gameplay features like racing, open sandbox areas, and arena battles, and not to mention the soundtrack. It's just an absolute blast to go through the game from start to finish and listening to some sweet tunes. If there was ever a time machine you could time travel to your past, one of those options for me would be to replay this game and relive all those childhood memories all over again. And number 1, The Simpsons Hit and Run. I don't think I need to explain why this takes the number 1 spot, but since I've got some time to spend, I'll go ahead anyway. Think of Hit and Run as a child-friendly version of Grand Theft Auto, just without all the blood and swearing. Still, even without all that R-rated features from a Grand Theft Auto game, this video game pays so much respect to its fans by giving it some references that many Simpsons fans will recognize. Some unbelievable attention to detail, fun missions to partake in, and not to mention, once again, the soundtrack is just amazing. Mwah. Chef's kisses all around. If you were playing the PlayStation 2 system back then, you most likely would have had the opportunity to experience this game. While I never had the chance to finish this game back in the day, I did not care about finishing the game as all I did was explore each location and check out the environment. And even replaying this game now just to get some footage, it still brings a massive smile to my face. And that's going to wrap up this video. I thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And as always, my name is Justin Hurst, telling you to keep calm and keep playing video games.